From First Coast News, this is Good Morning Jacksonville.
It's Monday, it's July 3rd, it is 6 o'clock. Hope you're having a good Monday morning so far. I'm Lou Turner.
And I'm Jessica Clark. I'm filling in for Keitha this morning.
All right.
So let's get started with a look at your stories at 6 o'clock. First, yet another child has drowned after going into a swimming pool on the First Coast. A 4-year-old girl died on the west side last night, and that little girl, named Kiara Williams, went into a swimming pool during a 4th of July party. She is the 5th child to drown on the First Coast in the past 3 weeks.
Your second big story, listen to this. A Pennsylvania man turned himself into police this weekend after allegedly causing the death of a teen who would have attended Jacksonville University this fall. Police say 18-year-old Bianca Roberson died in an act of road rage. We'll have more on this story in just 2 minutes.
And your third big story, up, and away. SpaceX will make another attempt at launching its Falcon 9 rocket from the Space Coast tonight. The company had to scrub last night's launch, so it'll try to take another communication satellite into space starting just after 7:30 this evening, hoping for good weather for them.
Yeah, we're going to try to get that launch in. Let's start at home, though. Our postcard pick weekend continues. A lot of folks off work. Check this bright double rainbow off County Road 210 on Friday, and I expect more rainbow weather this evening, so hopefully that bodes well from the launch pad all the way into Jacksonville. And we're taking a look at our precision, and yeah, we've got a 60% chance of a pop-up splash and dash type thunderstorm today, so rain time less than 2 hours, plenty of fun in the sun. Riverwalk, we'll see that shower 2 o'clock. Tinseltown by 3 o'clock, so maybe that's the best time to take the kids to the movie later in the day and then get to the beach earlier this morning. Jumbo shrimp, yes, they wrap up the homestand in style. First pitch 7:05. We should dry out. Heat index of 89, but there will be a breeze. What about the World Golf Village? Well, we do have some showers and storms that'll start to move into St. Johns County by 2 o'clock. I'll let you know if they clear in time for the big show tonight. But first, Katie Jeffries in the ByStar Credit Union Traffic Center.
Thank you so much, Mike. Good Monday morning, everybody. Let's start with a beautiful look here towards the Dames Point Bridge. Not too many people out there this early in the morning. It looks pretty nice. Let's take a quick look here at your traffic maps. All of your major interstates moving up to speed. Traffic a little bit lighter than we normally see because a lot of people took the day off today. So here's a look towards the beaches. Atlantic Beach, JTB, all look great. No reported problems there. Now, if you are traveling in maybe, let's see, from I-10, no reported problems. They're moving up to speed about 70 miles per hour or so to go from Baldwin towards the Jacksonville area. Tiny slowdown here along Beaver Street as you would approach downtown Jacksonville, but overall, no major issues. Back to you.
All right, Katie, thank you.
New for you this morning, the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office asking for help to learn more about a deadly accident that happened on New Kings Road Sunday evening.
Police say a woman crossed the road and was hit by a car, but they don't know who she is. All they've told us is that she's a white woman. If you know anything about this case, please call the Florida Highway Patrol. Well, back to that developing story from Pennsylvania now. An argument on the road turns violent. Now police say they've arrested a man who killed an 18-year-old in an act of road rage last week, and that teenager planned to attend Jacksonville University. Alex Ositis is live at JU this morning with the latest on this story. Good morning, Alex.
Jessica, Bianca Roberson would have been moving on campus here in just over a month, but instead police in Pennsylvania spent the weekend looking for her killer. And now they say that a man turned himself in Sunday morning, and they actually found evidence, including that red truck that they spent days searching for. Now police say that 28-year-old David Desper showed up with his attorney and turned himself into police early Sunday morning. Police say they also found that red pickup truck and a gun believed to have been used in that road rage incident in Pennsylvania last Wednesday. Now, Roberson, a recent high school graduate, was part of JU's incoming class. The university releasing a statement after all of these developments, saying that the school will memorialize her at some point. Those plans still in the works, though. Now, we spoke with one of our NBC stations actually spoke with the family of Roberson. Here is what her father had to tell them.
We was all excited for her. She was excited. We was just happy for her.
Still to come in our next half hour, how this is getting a Jacksonville father weighing in on social media. The father actually of Jordan Davis, the teen killed a few years ago in a similar rage incident. We'll share what he has to say about all of this coming up in our next half hour. But for now, reporting live in Arlington, Alex Ositis, First Coast News.
All right, Alex, thank you. And more grim news around Jacksonville as GSO searching for suspects after 3 more shootings on Sunday. A 21-year-old man named Corey Spann died after being shot on Phillips Highway Sunday morning. Another man he was with was hurt. There was another shooting. It happened on West 25th Street Sunday morning. Look at everything that's on that map. They're quite cluttered considering all the activity. In the most recent incident, an 18-year-old was shot while walking near 43rd and Dodge Streets. Police only know that a silver or gray vehicle was involved in this. So if you know anything about the incidents, call Crime Stoppers. You can remain anonymous, by the way. The number is 866-845-TIPS.
All right, Lewis, thanks. 6:05, your time now, tracking your top national stories this morning. Some lawmakers say the president's latest tweets encourage violence. Others say he was simply sharing a funny joke about the media online. The president's latest tweet showed footage of him from a WWE broadcast years back, edited to show the president body slamming a CNN logo. This after he's accused the network of spreading fake headlines about him and his administration. Hear how lawmakers are reacting now, coming up on the Today Show and Good Morning America at 7 o'clock. Some terrifying video out of the Middle East. Fire raged through a refugee camp that housed some 600 Syrian refugees in Lebanon. About 100 tents went up in flames and a toddler died in the fire. It's not really clear what sparked the fire, but relief officials say they'll be able to find temporary homes for these refugees in the next couple of days. Plane passengers seem to make it to their destination just in time after the engine of this plane caught fire in Denver yesterday. This regional plane had just come in from Aspen and landed safely, and this fire sparked just after the landing. All 59 passengers and 6 crew members were able to get out of there safely. Wow. A Grammy Award-winning singer may be skipping music tours now. Adele had to cancel the last 2 stops on her current tour this weekend after damaging her vocal cords. She's really had some trouble with those vocal cords. But before that, she wrote a note to her fans saying she may stop touring altogether in the future. She said she's always been a homebody and that she's never really enjoyed life on the road. Her fans are going to be so disappointed.
Respect to that. I get it. Maybe in turn, record more albums.
Sure.
You know what I mean? If she's there and can do it, the fans might appreciate that just as much.
Of course.
Jessica, thank you.
Okay.
Your time is 6:07. One gadget can help you go hands-free when you're behind the wheel. You're less distracted. Yo guy Matt Granite shows us the future of Bluetooth technology coming up at 6:22. It is pretty interesting. But first, do your kids know how to put on sunscreen properly when they go to the beach? May seem like a no-brainer, but perhaps you might need to put a little more brain into it. We put some children to the test coming up at 6:15.
That's where we should be.
Yeah, I think it's time to hit the beach, Katie. In fact, I think the early bird gets the best weather at the beach because we do have some storms coming maybe by early afternoon.
So you got to get there early.
That's right. Earlier the better, and then a nice evening shaping up. Let's check it out. The highest rain chances where that storm zone's coming together will be along the east coast. So notice your highest chances about 60% as we head into St. Augustine, Jacksonville, and then lower as you head toward Lake City and Gainesville, down to about 30%. Now we take a look at the big picture. It's a splash and dash kind of storm day. So these storms are not going to last all that long. In fact, at the beach, notice plenty of good weather through noon. Then at 2 o'clock, you'll pop a storm and then back into some sunshine at 4 o'clock. So maybe take that walk on the beach after the storms about 4 or 5 o'clock. Now, St. Johns County, big event tonight. We've got Rokoff Village fireworks 9:30. It looks like you'll get that daily downpouring at 4:30, and then it should clear the area. So, Katie, it's looking good. Check out that forecast. We're talking about 80 degrees, low chance of rain, and we can tweet those pictures to FCN to go.
We should see if the bosses will let us go to the beach early today.
Okay, we'll check it out.
I hope you guys are having a great start to your morning. Let's talk about some of the fireworks. Maybe you're going to the show in downtown tomorrow night. Couple reminders here. Now, the Acosta Bridge tomorrow starting around noon. One northbound lane there of the Acosta will be blocked because that's kind of where they're going to be shooting some of the fireworks. So the fireworks show starts around 9:45, and during that time, the Main and the Acosta will be closed tomorrow until after 11 p.m. or after the fireworks are done. Something else to remember, the Fuller Warren, the Matthews, the Hart, those will remain open during the fireworks show, but do not park on the bridge. In years past, for some reason, people will try and pull over, especially on the Fuller Warren, and watch the show from the bridge. That's so unsafe. Please don't do that. That could cause traffic accidents, and you don't want that.
Great advice. And we got 2 fireworks shows, one from nature and then one downtown. We'll time it all out tomorrow coming up.
Okay, Mike, thank you. Well, thousands will pack the beaches for the 4th of July holiday, and you can bet a lot of people will be wearing sunscreen. We hope at least. But do your kids really know how important sunscreen is? That story's next. Plus, we take a closer look at how different types of rays from the sun can hurt your skin. We are back in 2 minutes.
You're watching Good Morning Jacksonville.
Good Monday morning and welcome back. On mornings like this morning, I think we're going to make it requisite every 10 minutes or so to show the live look at Jacksonville Beach. It is a beautiful start to the morning, and you can bet it will be packed today. Thousands of vacationers, thousands of locals riding the bikes along First there and along the beach. It's going to be beautiful, but parents, you know how hard it can be to protect your skin from sun damage, especially the children, though. Think about it. Your kids left to their own devices may or may not put the sunscreen on at all, and if they do, is it on the appropriate way? First Coast News' Monica Garcia decided to find out with the help of a local pediatrician.
Everything that's exposed in him needs to look white.
Tracy Tyson might come off to some like she's being too overprotective when lathering up 8-year-old Jack with sunscreen.
You had it for me like this?
But you can trust her. She's a doctor.
Don't squinch up so much.
And more than that, she's one tough mom that doesn't mess around when it comes to her son's safety. And neither should you.
Every single year, you're allowing your child to have a blistering sunburn, their risk of skin cancer is going up 2, 3, 5, 10-fold.
The bare minimum is making sure your children are wearing sun protective clothing, especially between the hours of 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. That's when the UV rays are the strongest. Now, when it comes to sunscreen,
Use it liberally and reapply it often.
Dr. Tyson recommends 30 minutes before their toes touch the sand so it has time to soak into the skin. No matter what brand, just buy something with an SPF of at least 30.
Do not pay for a 50 to 70 SPF. It really, studies showed we do not think it makes a big difference.
But what's the point if you're not going to put enough on? According to studies, adults apply 50% less sunscreen than they actually need. But kids, here on Jacksonville Beach, they're in the water, then out, jumping, marching, shoveling to China. Do they know how much sunscreen to apply? Armed with a beach chair, table, and 4 different sizes, we asked, how much sunscreen should they put on before hitting the waves?
Lots of sunscreen. The big one? That much.
That's what it feels like, huh?
The answer is around 1 ounce every 2 hours.
This much.
So if you guess the shot glass, you know your stuff, like 11-year-old Andy Gonzalez.
Because these two are way too much and this one is way too little. So I thought this one would be the best.
And reapply every time you get out of the water.
You have to have enough to go around your body and enough to layer your skin.
No matter how sticky it might feel at times.
It's like seatbelts. We don't have to explain to our children to wear seatbelts anymore. They feel naked if they don't have the seatbelt on.
Because it's our job to protect them.
Did that on purpose.
We've got them covered. Monica Garcia, First Coast News.
And by the way, children who have a parent or a sibling that have had melanoma have a 50% greater chance of developing the disease later in life themselves.
Well, parents may not know that there is a difference in the kind of rays that can damage your child's skin. And so for more on that, here is meteorologist Mike Prangley, the UVB, the UVA, what do they all mean?
UVB is the B for burn, the ouch rays.
That's a good way to remember it.
Yes, but only 10% of the rays that impact us are the burn rays. So you think you're okay, oh, I'm fine, you know, no big problem. But 90% are the A rays that cause the aging, those dark sunspots, and cancer, and can do a lot of damage. You don't even know the damage is being done. So as we look at the UV index, this is very important. It's in the high range, 210 days per year from March to October. And make sure you have the broad spectrum sunscreen, because that protects you from the A and the B. And here's the problem. The clouds may block 80% of the UVB rays, but they only block about 10% to 0%, almost no of the A rays that do all of that damage to you. So one instance is this. A lot of folks have the aging in the spots on the left side of their face because when they're driving, the window panes don't block the A rays whatsoever. So it's the rays you can't see that do most of the damage. In fact, let's get to the forecast for today. And we've got plenty of UV index we're tracking here outside. High range in 11. So very high out there, so make sure you have the sunscreen. Should be a beautiful day, but as we come back to that forecast, we are talking about this. Yes, a precision forecast that shows a lot of fun in Jekyll Island at the Summer Waves Water Park, but by 2 o'clock, parents, if you hear the thunder roar, get the kids indoors, then you probably can get back outside by 3:30, so the rain won't last long. St. Simon's Pier, one of my favorite places, 2:30 on your shower, and then Fort Clinch State Park, Amelia Island. Looks like the rain coming around 3 o'clock, but look at these rain chances. We've got 30% to the western area of Hilliard, Woodbine, to 40% along the coast. In fact, as we look at the big picture, these are more your splash and dash types, and not everybody will see the rain, but they will peak between about 2 and 5 o'clock. That includes downtown Jacksonville. Here at 3:30, you can see this quick wave of showers and storms moving through. Then they move out, and then, yes, we see this familiar pattern tomorrow with the daytime heating. We're going to see the storms percolate maybe a little later, all right, 4 to 7 o'clock, and then they'll clear out for the downtown fireworks. So the show is a go, looking good, and we've got great cookout weather for Lou. I think he's already got the steaks in the brine, and as far as that forecast goes, it doesn't get much better because we lowered the rain chances from 60% today to 40% for the 4th, and we'll keep a nice week going, maybe rent the beach house for the entire week. A lot of dry air and fun in the sun. Now let's get to Katie Jeffries in the VyStar Credit Union Traffic Center.
Thank you so much, Mike. All right, let's start with a live look outside. Beautiful live look, 295 near the Buckman Bridge. Traffic, not too bad because a lot of people either working from home today or maybe they're just not going into work today. But if you do have to head to work, at least the traffic isn't as bad. Let's take a quick look here at your traffic maps as well. Now, I want to let you know along 295 and I-95 where they meet on the north end of town, so up near the airport. 295 northbound near the ramp for I-95 northbound. There is an accident, but no lanes are blocked. It's off to the side. Also, still seeing the slowdown as traffic approaches NAS Jacksonville. Those are your typical morning slowdowns, and seeing the same things near Mayport as well as Kings Bay, because the wonderful men and women in our armed forces, they never get the day off. So thank you for your service. Back to you.
All right, Katie, thank you. Coming up to Naval Station Mayport at 6:30, we see the naval ship that will soon call the First Coast home.
But first, a bit of a safari to the Midwest. How that wild animal escaped and then got into a neighborhood in Wisconsin. What a sight that would be, huh? Fun? All the way up to Wisconsin. It is 6:22. It's Monday. You're watching Good Morning Jacksonville.
Oh, my God.
Take everything you know about your phone Bluetooth headset and toss it. What I have today is a solution at under 20 bucks that takes everything you know, improves upon it, makes it smaller, and gets you call quality for under 20 bucks. The charge system for this, absolutely ingenious and magnetic. Look how small this earbud is. You take this with the magnet and then it goes right onto here. See that? 1, 2, 3, you're there. It's charging. This plugs into a USB slot in your computer, or if you already have an iPhone or Android charger, this will fit into that charger, recharging you easily on the spot. Compatible with iPhone, Android, iPad, and other Bluetooth devices. Skip the cables and skip the cords. This allows you to pair with 2 devices simultaneously. The price I found even lower than what you see on your screen. Great ratings, not a paid product, on our website. FirstCoastNews.com is where I have you covered, and today's deal is waiting for you. I'm Matt Granite for First Coast News.
Thank you, Matt. Here's what you're watching tonight. NBC 12, 8 o'clock, a brand new episode of American Ninja Warrior. 10 o'clock, an all-new Spartan Ultimate Team Challenge, and then after that, your late local headlines. Our friends Anthony and Heather will have your news at 11 o'clock.
11 o'clock. All right, trending online this morning, a wild new resident decides to make himself at home in a neighborhood in Wisconsin. Can you imagine looking outside your window and seeing that? People living in the small town of Madison woke up to see this elephant just walking around last Friday.
Looking for a peanut. It escaped from a Circus World museum there. Got out, and now it's traipsing through the hood. Wasn't moving too quickly, and easy to find. You notice you're not looking for a needle in a haystack. It's a giant elephant on the streets of town north of Madison. So
yes.
You got him, and he got back safely.
Well,
so,
and we're glad to hear that.
Yeah, not too much going on for an elephant in those streets. It's going to get cold soon. So all right, still ahead on Good Morning Jacksonville. Police say he committed at least 6 crimes in the span of just 20 minutes. How a man captured in the World Golf Village on Saturday after a pretty interesting crime spree.
Yeah, plus a driver is arrested after police say he killed a teenage girl in an act of road rage. First Coast News' Alex Osiris has the latest on this in 2 minutes.